2022 is halfway done. Thank God. Eventually this year will end, but we're going to focus on upbeat things for now. It's given us some pretty great films so far. So Alonso and I are going to talk about our favorite movies so far in 2022. Alonso, because he is so organized and on top of things, he ranked his. I'm just going to throw mine out there, but why don't you go ahead and get started with your list, Alonso?
And you know what? Shout out to Bibbs because he tweeted about this. It didn't really occur to me that end of June is the half over. But it inspired me to sort of go through my list and look at what my top 5 of the year were so far. And it speaks something to 2022 that it was hard to narrow down to 5. Like Apollo 10.5 is up there, but it was not, at the moment not in my top 5. But maybe it will be in December. Who knows? So my top 5 for 2022 thus far, in the 5th position is The Northman. At number 4 is Benediction, which is Terrence Davis's biopic about poet Siegfried Sassoon. At number 3 is Hit the Road, which is the directorial debut of Pana Panahi, the son of Iranian filmmaker Jafar Panahi. At number 2, Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I think we probably have the same number 1, which is RRR.
Woohoo, RRR. And RRR has inspired us to go and learn about all kinds of other Indian cinema that we don't know about. So we're going to do a couple of S.S. Rajamouli films coming up pretty soon, both of the Bahubali movies. So that's been a lot of fun to explore. Yeah, I don't really have any kind of organized list, but I also have The Northman on mine just as an overwhelming visual spectacle and just a transporting and thrilling one. His vision is so specific and so grand, and just the sound design and the performances. And even though it's a very traditional kind of hero revenge tale, you never know where it's going. I mean, Nicole Kidman's amazing in it.
Yeah, I think that one got a tough break from either people who thought it was too weird as a straightforward genre movie, or that it wasn't weird enough as a Robert Eggers movie. But for me, it works.
Oh, completely. I have on here Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's like the total opposite of The Northman.
Pretty much.
Could not be more different.
In scale and sentiment.
Yeah, I was so impressed by just the care and the detail that went into it, and the sweetness and the gentle sense of humor and the pop culture references. And I love the little voice that Jenny Slate does. I should mention, I didn't realize this when you and I reviewed it, that Jake Tremblay, not Jacob Tremblay, the Room kid, but Jake Tremblay, who is a production designer who was my last a la carte interview on Breakfast All Day 2.5 years ago, was the art director on Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
Wow.
So like there's so much care with like all of the little contraptions and the way that they live their lives in this house, and the gardens, and like the way they watch TV and all that. So
you should put a link to that interview in the show notes.
I should. That's a really good idea. So that is in theaters. The Northman's in theaters, and it's also on Peacock.
Yes.
I'm gonna cheat, and I'm going to pick a movie that I picked last year too, and that is Petite Maman.
I had a hunch you were going to bring it
because it actually came out theatrically this past year in April, right? Like,
well, I mean, it had an awards run, but yes, it's main big release. Yes, I put it in my top 10 of 2021, so I kind of have to let that one lie, but I totally get it.
I'm going to double dip. I'm going to cheat. So I'm going to say Petite Maman because it is just so moving and just a perfect little movie, and it does what it does so well and so elegantly and so subtly, and yet has this incredible, powerful, emotional wallop to it. After Yang, I really love.
Yes.
It is visionary. It is got this ethereal kind of cinematography about it, and it's so weird and so specific, and yet also grounded into a reality that we could recognize. And Colin Farrell's really great in it.
It does that thing that all sci-fi purports to do, which is to sort of like use technology that doesn't exist yet as a way to comment upon how we live now. And I think it does it really well.
Yeah. So After Yang is on Showtime. And then, RRR for sure. It is unlike anything I have seen this year. It's unlike anything I've ever seen in my life. I'm so glad that it is getting these little theatrical runs across the country in various places as people realize, oh, this needs to be experienced. And so like the Belcourt did a run, like various theaters in LA had it recently. So, but you can watch it at home on Netflix.
Yes.
Again, and we will link in the description to all of our reviews of all these movies because I think we reviewed most of these movies that we're talking about today.
Yeah, a couple of mine, no,
but did you review them for the wrap?
I reviewed Benediction for the wrap, and Dave and I talked about Hit the Road on Linoleum Knife.
Okay, so we'll link to all the places where you can learn about these films and where you can watch these films. But RRR is just an experience. It is a spectacle. It is a blast. It is so ambitious, and it does so much in so many different genres so well, and it wouldn't seem to make sense together, and it does. And you never know where it's going. And for 3 hours straight, you are just hanging on every moment, every image. So
yeah, check your local listings. If you can see it in a theater, we very highly recommend that you do for the spectacle of it all, and so that you can see it in the original Telugu soundtrack. But if not, watch it on Netflix and just like dive in.
So thank you guys, and let us know what you have loved this year so far too.